Those symbiotes won't stop until they get inside! Hope I'm not intruding!
Never! Let's do this!
Take care getting home. And if anyone needs help again, the Spiderman will be around. Room for one more?
Look! The Spider-Man! You doused the blade!
Spider-Man's distracted by the fireworks shipper.
Nice! I was wondering if this could get any harder.
Quit messing around!
Facts, buddy.
Our last 2 days, Justin Fields is down ready for Pokemon Sport Play. He's not going to play with that injury, so Tyson Bagent will get another start. On the good news side, Pokemon's going to be active player from the injury report. Yeah, wiped off the
There's an ambulance nearby.
I gotta say, that's about the nicest way. You're saying a little change in tune up from the show last days. Because yesterday on the show, we were basically like, look, Justin Fields, he operated that way. He operated. Justin Fields is obviously playing. He's got, you know, he talked that up, and then literally like 30 minutes after we were done with the show, it was like, oh no, he's officially listed as doubtful, and the line.
Almost there.
You know, I mean, like we were like, because before I think it was pretty close, and it was clear that that DraftKings thought he was going to play.
It was Bears -4, and Tyson Bagent was going to be a 4-point favorite against the Panthers. Now it's 3.5 trending.
Now you're in much better hands.
Yeah, I've seen it great as well.
How much of a good guy you
I think
are.
it might be 3 on DraftKings now as well. So for sure, it is the Tyson Bagent experience once again for Thursday night. Very exciting.
Without Cleveland, he's not.
You know, and I just want to, as we talk about the fact that, like, so it's the Bears Panthers on Thursday night. Without Justin Fields, without arguably the biggest star on the field, he's not going to play as well as he was running backs. A lot of the defensive stars, Brian Burns is going to play for the Panthers. Like, there's a lot of defensive stars on the Carolina side of the ball also out. So we would just like to say that today, you know, drink free. Everybody that's watching the game tonight, because God bless fantasy, God bless betting, God bless booze, because that's how we're all getting through tonight's game. Because I'm watching every single minute of it. But let's be clear, it is not the sexiest of matchups.
Some back-to-backs with Jets, Chargers on the Monday night primetime game. It's not a great thing, honest with me. Maybe it's not be a great game, but also there are some huge Sunday night games coming. Admittedly not Jets Raiders.
I was going to say, start with Jets Raiders.
Aiden O'Connell's there. Well, there's some big primetime games coming up there. It's good. You got the Chiefs and you got Bengals, Ravens coming up. It'll be good.
And the great thing about the NFL is you never know. When sometimes two teams that aren't that great, but like all of a sudden it can be fireworks. It could be an amazing game.
Tyson Bagent's been surprisingly competent as well. This isn't a Tommy DeVito situation.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times my wife has come to me and said that exact. You've been surprisingly competent. I just want you to know that. Just so you know. That's the constant phrase of my wife. Surprisingly competent.
I won't ask you to put it in context.
Let's jump into Love Hate. Let's get out of here. Okay, right there.
Love Hate running backs is where we kick things off. And Tony Pollard leads the love list because he's got the Giants defense. Listen, it's been a disappointing fantasy season and a disappointing fantasy stretch for Tony Pollard, but the bottom line is, Barry, this is a pretty nice matchup where the Cowboys are expecting to steamroll the Giants.
Pollard managers are down bad. To your point, very high. Let's be clear. And Tony Pollard this year, he's averaging 18 points fantasy points per game. Teams that face the Giants are averaging 27 running backs touches a game. So we feel pretty good about the fact that Tony Pollard's going to get at least 15 touches against the New York Football Giants, and every running back that's seen at least 15 touches against the Giants has scored a touchdown. So if Tony Pollard can't get anyone against the G-Man, I don't know what to tell you, but I have as a top 5 play. He's above. We talked about this yesterday. Like 16.5, the Cowboys minus 16.5. I don't think that's nearly big enough. I think again, Tommy DeVito against the red-hot Dak Prescott, it's not fair. The Cowboys defense is elite. Dak is playing really well. Giants defense is going to be overmatched in this one. It's going to be up and big and getting Tony Pollard going.
So the line for this game on Sunday night opened as Cowboys minus 15.5. They messaged the buddy saying this is surely way too low. And then he replied saying, I don't know how to contextualize lines and being way too low when he gets like 15.5 seems out, but it's so hard to see the Giants staying within 20 in this game with Tommy DeVito and household name shown. And how the Cowboys are playing on offense.
Yes, exactly. That's the other thing. Like, I mean, like, they beat them earlier in the season when the Cowboys offense stunk. They beat this line. They backed this, and that was with Daniel Jones. I mean, and now you've got Tommy DeVito. Listen, Tommy DeVito leads the Syracuse guy. I'm rooting for him, but let's be clear. So far, it does not look like he's ready for prime time.
No, and Tony Pollard in that first game was, even though he only had the 14 carries, still went for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Next one on the love list, Brees Hall on Sunday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. Jay Brees comes in as RB8 this week.
That person's in trouble.
Up with the Jets offense, exactly. But if you're looking for any positives from a fantasy perspective, Brees Hall's volume has officially moved over to being the guy that kind of passed away the Dalvin Cook.
I got this. Clear.
The key thing for MCs is the most explosive going. It looks like he's on the verge of breaking one, even in a hopeless situation. And I think that after the lineup against the Chargers, I don't think they're going to try and avoid that cross and dropping back because there's such a in the sidelines of Max
last week. 2 weeks ago, we saw Jahmyr Gibbs have his complete breakout game against the Raiders. They allow, this is what they're averaging. Their average is over 150 yards from scrimmage to opposing running backs. As you mentioned, no Dalvin Cook, no Michael Carter, not early involved. This should be a huge game for Breece Hall, who is averaging 20 touches a game for the last 4. Again, running backs who have got at least 18 touches against Las Vegas are averaging 19 and a half fantasy points per game. You mentioned that he's my RB8, makes the Bubba's. Again, Bubba's is all about exceeding expectations. And my belief is that the expectations of Breece and the entire Jet offense is down because we had to witness last week. But I think better days are ahead.
Our next one here, Aaron Jones.
For everyone except for Connor Rogers, who's going to have to talk about this game extensively.
I think it's Bills and Dolphins. Dolphins is the Jets, right? So it's not how win this game.
Yes, we got the Dolphins on Black Friday.
Should be able to.
So you're going to get 5 and 8.
This thing must have been
That's right.
Our next one here, Aaron Jones.
coming off the Patriots by 24 touchdowns. That was the lowest player since he did last season. Now he's got the Steelers. Hey, hang on. You know what he did last week when he got the 24 touchdowns? Did he have a positive game? Yes! This is what happens with free Aaron Jones. When you hashtag free Aaron Jones, he produces. It's not that hard. Why is it hard? It doesn't seem that hard to put in the NFL. Hey, you're like you need a touchdown. Give it to me, Sean Rollins. Did you see the quote from Arthur Smith? By the way, yes, I'm turning a lot of Aaron Jones into I just hate Arthur Smith. But again, Arthur Smith was like, yeah, we need to be better. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's a puzzler when you're giving Jets a week to Johnny Smith instead of, Sean Robinson. Everyone agrees it's like the elite running back prospects of the last decade. Yeah, it's a mystery.
Why run the ball with Aaron Jones when you can throw it at Dontavian Wicks?
I mean, exactly. It isn't that hard. It doesn't feel like it is. I coach my daughter's basketball team. Right, and I'm not saying 12 and under girls basketball is the same as the NFL. But I will tell you that some of the principles still apply. Because you know what I do? You know what I do with these 12-year-old and under girls? I play my best players. Now listen, in participation, everyone gets to play, that kind of stuff. We only had 7 girls, so it's a tight rotation. But you know what? It's not that we went undefeated. We won the title last year. We really didn't lose a game. And you know why? Because when it came down to crunch time, I'd be like, Josie, you got the ball. Everyone get the ball to Josie. Because Josie's our best player. That's right.
Shades of last night. I guess I'm saying the minutes are not a charity. I'm not a charity.
No. Aaron Jones, your best player. Free Aaron Jones. Anyway, I'm a running back Josie.
Yeah, free Josie.
Right?
He's not afraid though.
He is free.
He's running free.
Josie's my tallest girl. She was great in the paint. Yes, we met Josie. What are you talking about? I ran a 2-3 zone because you know what? 12-year-old girls don't know how to shoot over a 2-3 zone. So I just said, all right, Josie, you're there. Sophia, you're there. We had 2 Sophias. Sophia, you're there. Samantha, Brooke, you're up top. Here's what we're doing. Yeah, and Grace, when you come in, you're sliding over there. Yeah, I had a whole thing. You understand? Undefeated. We went undefeated. I'm just telling you.
It's barely had picked up my pajama and Josie just patrolling the place.
Yeah, she's a tall girl. Anyway, back to Aaron Jones. Steelers have allowed the 5th most receptions per game. I'm sorry. Steelers have allowed the 5th most yards per reception to running backs. He's had over a 16% target share the last 3 weeks as well. He's 5 targets every game. He's coming off from a game where he's very productive, came out of it healthy. I was a top 12 play against the Steelers. Free Aaron Jones. Free Aaron Jones. Coach like I coached Josie. Damn it, take notes.
Some others receiving votes here. Javonte Williams, he's got the Bills. He comes into the top 20 play. Najee Harris against the Packers are 22. How about that, Jay? Tyler Algier and Antonio Gibson round out this list as well. Jay, take the floor. Najee Harris, top 22 running back.
The Bills 3-point favorites. Their offensive line
He's averaging 16 touches a game. He's at 3 spots with at least 12% target share. He's going against the Packers. Your point, right? They are favored here. Like, Algiers could be useful, certainly this week. I like Javante Williams, who's had 48 touches in the past 2 games. He's coming off the bye. He's healthy, get back, and ready. They really struggle defensively. They're top 5 in terms of the highest yards per carry allowed to opposing running backs. Tyler Algier. We all think Arthur Smith should use Bijan Robinson, but just because what we think doesn't mean what he's going to do. I actually do think Bijan, after all the threats and everything like that, I do think, especially against Arizona, he has a big game here. But it's worth noting that Tyler Algier has out-touched, not out-carried, out-touched Bijan Robinson in the red zone this year, 26-12. They used the 8th overall pick on this guy. And Tyler Algier in the red zone, in crunch time, when you need to get into the end zone, Tyler Algier, 26 touches, Bijan Robinson, your 8th overall pick, 12. Anyway, teams facing the Cardinals averaging league-high 26 running back rushes per game. I think both guys get a lot. You're already starting Bijan, but I do think Algier is a viable flex. And Antonio Gibson, Commanders are underdogs in a big way on the road in Seattle, and so as they've been so pass-heavy, Gibson got a season-high 11 touches last week. He's in back-to-back games, 5 receptions. He's more play than an upside play. I do think, given game script against this spot, he's a viable PPR flex.
Lastly on Najee Harris, I know where Kevin O'Connell coaches year, man, he dealt another man in sort of carriage, so to speak. That really works, but anyway, Mike Tomlin, he wins. All of a sudden, that team somehow is 6-3. He's 22-1 to win Coach of the Year, and they're plus 850 to win the division. If he wins the division, Lamar Jackson then he has to win Coach of the Year. So 22-1 doesn't break this hole, plus 850 to win.
I don't know the answer to this question, but has he ever won Coach of the Year?
He's never finished top 5, yeah.
Which is insane to me. It's insane to me. I mean, like, he is so good, and maybe it's because, and it's weird because the media loves him. Like, he's really good in front of a crowd. Like, he's a really great, he's a charismatic guy.
He was able to juggernaut teams, and teams are like, they won the Super Bowl, so greatness was expected. It's like how Andy Reid is never in this conversation, but now he doesn't have, Super Bowl MVP, right? Ben Roethlisberger,
right?
But now he's got Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers have been so good for so long. They took him from Coward, and it's like, he probably doesn't get credits as much as he should. But anyone that's ever followed him around on social media should understand what a genius Mike Tomlin is, because no one knew what they were dealing with AB when he was in Pittsburgh. That was kept under wraps. And then he leaves Pittsburgh, and all of a sudden, like, there's a lot to unpack there.
It's really one of the more remarkable things in our life. They should coach of the year votes for that.
They really should. They should go back and redo it. Anyway, I'm with you. Mike Tomlin is one. I don't understand how he's never been like top 3, because he's a great coach. He's unbelievable. Anyway, your point. He's done a great job with the Dolphins. Let's take a look at the running back hate list. This is headlined by Justin Bird. But he's like me. He's like, I mean, honestly, he's a better coach than me. Because I mean, I had Joe Burrow. I had Start Talent. He's doing this with, with Kenny Pickett. He's smoking beer. He did go to victory lap.
I got 2 3s.
I'm just telling you, anyone out there that's looking at coaching young kids, like, again, if they
TJ, what is his job?
yeah, I would say both of my sisters and Sophia's were really good too. Like, I had like on the bigs. Yeah, Sophia was the fastest girl in the league. We ran a lot of fast break stuff for her. Anyway, we've been we were GPS. Sophia. First day in the league, I said to the guy that runs the administrator, I said, like, they're in defense. And they said, well, you can't, you have to let them bring it up. You can't press. You can't take a press. You can't forward press. You gotta let them bring it up. You can't play defense. And I said, is that
Well, I do many things. I do some dumb things. But I don't bet.
Yes. I went to Syracuse. Of course we're going 2 3
What a Nick Nurse over here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, done. Yeah. I went to Syracuse. Of course we're doing the 2 3
What a Nick Nurse over here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying.
touchdown regression is coming to the passing game here as well. If Gus Edwards doesn't get in the end zone, he averages up. There's 6 fantasy points for the.
They are trash. I don't burn bridges.
Three-headed monster. So anyway, I was nervous about him against the Browns, who don't give a lot of touchdowns. He doesn't score. He's not that good because he does that. He has no passing game. Gus Edwards is running back number 4 for me this week. And in that same game, quickly against Baltimore, Jordan Ford makes the game. Look, in 2 games since his ankle injury, he's averaging under 3 yards per carry. He's had just 81 yards on 29 carries.
Brought to you by Applebee's. Now that's
Cincinnati. Good in the neighborhood.
He is touchdown dependent, and seeing the emergence of Keith Mitchell last week, and Joseph Tilso getting the work, but maybe suddenly this is a three-headed monster. So anyway, I'm just nervous about him against the Browns. Touchdowns, and if he doesn't score, he's not that.
Don't worry. I'll get you to an ambulance in no time. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And in that same game, just to quickly, and again, the real four also make the game list. Look, for 2 games since his ankle injury, he's averaging under 3 yards per carry.
We're close. You're doing great.
Over the last 4 weeks, 3 months, out-touched 4, 2 in the red zone, not getting the red zone work as well. Baltimore top 10 in terms of fewest fantasy points allowed to opposing quarterbacks since
You're all set.
So,
And I hope the worst is over now.
my top 20.
You're amazing.
Browns also 6.5 point dogs.
Thank you.
I like the Ravens. 6.5. And the 2 good teams that the Ravens have played lately, the Lions and the Seahawks, are kind of in the same zone as the Browns. They're both like the misread. So I think the Ravens are just a juggernaut, and I don't see Cleveland picking up.
I like Bijan, but I don't like Kareem Hunt that much. I don't really like Ravens.
Like they see games like that, and that's like, yeah, whatever. Seattle had a bad day in the office, like whatever. Like they're just not getting credit. You're right. They're just like Seattle's a good team. Seattle's a good team, and they destroyed them. They beat Detroit like 38 hours. This Detroit's good. I'm sure Baltimore opened the week. I think at about 12 to 1 Super Bowl. You're looking at 8. So, but it's still been a slow turn. Like people weren't buying it for a while, and everyone's like, wait a second. People realize like Baltimore's like way better than Miami. Like Baltimore's way better. Yes, and I think that's something that we're just. Yeah. What are the Super Bowl odds in the AFC? I would assume Kansas City is still the favorite, and then probably Cincinnati and Miami are rising up there. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore. I think now they're but they're still in the same. They're plus 450 to win the AFC. The Bengals are 6 to 1, the Dolphins are 6 to 1. Like there should be more separation. The Ravens are those teams. If the Ravens are heavy favorites to win their division, the Bengals are being the plus 300 just to win their own division. Right. So they'll have to go through the top 2 stuff. Our final one on the hate list here, Jay. Chuba Hubbard, he's got the Bears tonight on Thursday. They've been calling for all the Chicago's problems in the secondary. It's kind of the opposite against running backs. Now they add Montez Sweat to that run. I don't understand it, but Chicago, the number 1 most efficient run defense in the NFL. It's just bizarre. But that's just how it is. Their secondary is terrible. That's how you respond to them. But I don't think Carolina's going to be able to run the first time Chicago. Yeah, they've been really good there. And also, I think it's a little bit of a self-prophecy. We're not going to try to run because we don't need to. Their secondary is so bad. So, one of those metrics, but you're right. It's like, whatever this is the reason. The fact of the matter is, over the last month, no team in the NFL has allowed fewer rushing yards per game than the Chicago Bears. Hubbard, by the way, is averaging just 3.4 yards per carry. They also feel like on the road on the field.
He's trying to help, but I need it somewhere else.
Now Thursday night, quick turnaround the game in Chicago. So we feel like maybe Sanders gets even more work tonight. Try to take a little bit of the load off of Hubbard. He's my running back 30 this week. Get your weekday started with Bet the Edge. Join Jay and Drew in this again as they tackle the biggest games from every angle in the NFL. Wisely not trying to get fined anymore. Listen, we're all here so we don't get fined. That's right. DK Metcalf. Wisely avoiding that situation. Yes, exactly. DK Metcalf headlines the love list for pass catchers. He's got yours commanders. Yeah. Very looking good for DK Metcalf, Mr. Wide receiver 10 going into the week. Yeah, you know, here's something you can tweak if you want to on Sunday. TYDK. Thank you, DK, for the sweet new fantasy points. So the back content plan. Yeah, there you go. Take notes, social media. No winners. I was up all night writing my column. The fact is that my Commanders are bad. They're not so good. They're stinky. They've allowed the second most touchdowns to wide receivers this season. They've allowed the most yards in deep passes. Metcalf is top 10 and they like to take deep shots. This game is at home. I have to believe positive touchdown regression is coming for DK Metcalf. He leads the NFL with 11 end zone targets, but has converted only 2 of them. That changes on Sunday. I think he gets into the end zone. I think he's a top 10 play. He comes in after wide receiver 10, and he is, in fact, on the love list. He is here. He doesn't get by.
So Matthew on Trinity pre-game on Sunday, published on it, DK Metcalf over 54.5 receiving yards. And I wasn't paying that much attention to the Seattle-Baltimore game after I got out of hand. I saw that DK had a 50-yard reception in the second quarter. I was like, I'm taking time. exactly. That was a catch. 50. Yeah, it's such a bizarre line. He had 4 targets. But I agree. That was a bad beat. Yeah, that was a strange one to lose. But anyway, Commander's 4th worst pass defense by efficiency, so I think DK will get right.
Jay, how about Michael Pittman coming over here as wide receiver 12 and simply with Gardner Minshew? Pittman gets a ton of volume in this offense, and he's got the Patriots who run out of corners week after week.
Yeah, I think the main thing to look at when you're studying props or which players to use is simply if there are like massive disparities between how good a team is defending the run and defending the pass. Now the Patriots are excellent defending the run and terrible defending the pass. That's why Sam Howell threw for a bunch of yards against them, why Terry McLaurin and John Dodson both went over. I think it's the same recipe. I think it's going to be Gardner Minshew throwing, and I think Michael Pittman should have a big catch.
All right, Calvin Ridley also on the list. He's got the 49ers. He comes in as wide receiver 20, but very Calvin Ridley got at least 8 targets in 3 of his past 4 games.
Yeah, and by the way, the Niners, we'll talk about this going into the bye, their defense has struggled. They, in fact, have allowed the 3rd most fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers over the last week. They've also allowed the 2nd most receptions to perimeter wide receivers this season, which is obviously where Ridley lines up the majority of the time as Christian Kirk is their slot guy. So in a game in which we like the Niners offense to bounce back with the return of Debo, the return of Fred Williams for open, we think, they're going to have to throw to keep up with the Niners. Calvin Ridley is a top 20 play for me this week.
Our last one here, Dalton Schultz. Listen, Jay, the last 4 weeks for Dalton Schultz, he's been one of the better tight ends in fantasy as this Texans offense goes. He's got the Bengals this week, and the Bengals, much like the Eagles in a similar way, good team, but they struggle against opposing tight ends.
Yep, they do. And if you recall, Connor, I believe in round 14 of our show league draft, Matthew laughed me out of the room for drafting Dalton Kincaid well against the Bucks at 130 and a tutty. How do you like me now, Matthew? Unfortunately, I cut Dalton Kincaid after week 3, so I wasn't there to reap the benefits.
So I like it quite a bit, actually, to be perfectly honest.
But I do think that he's going to be part of this offense going forward. The fact that he can put up that production from the tight end position. Now, it's very uneven for Dalton Kincaid. The week before that, he went 2 catches, 5 yards against the Panthers, which isn't ideal, but Stroud does seem to be developing a rapport with him, goes to him on the key fourth and goal there. So I think Dalton Kincaid in a favourable matchup is the starter by it.
And Dalton Schultz.
Sorry,
That's okay. It's all right. Very Dalton heavy tight end field in fantasy. Some others receiving votes. Hollywood Brown, thanks to the return.
All right. Dalton's it.
Yes.
Yeah, they get rid of one of them.
Very Dalton heavy tight end field in fantasy. Some others receiving votes. Hollywood Brown, thanks to the return of Kyler Murray. Now, your takedown's going to be late this year. Your shrink really is. John Dodson back and looking good. Finally, this offense, Jake Ferguson. Really good stretch here. The Cowboys offense shocking at a big game against the Eagles. Finally, Jason Hill, he's just not going away. He really isn't. Like, over the last 4 weeks, he's the 2nd best tight end in fantasy. He's had 3 straight games with double-digit opportunities, rushes, and targets. Only when you put tight ends in much independent, why would you trust a guy that's not getting has multiple ways to score touchdowns, not just catching, but obviously they use that as a red zone threat. Sometimes you can't like the Giants and the Cowboys playing. He had a 28% target share. I like him so much. That's a top 10 play this week.
There's an ambulance nearby. I can take you to it. I know it's big trouble.
Against the Cardinals team that allows the 3rd highest catch rate to wide receivers. And Jahan Dodson, again, courtesy of a return to practice in a limited fashion. Dodson, we talked about yesterday, he's come the last couple of weeks. I still think he'll do well against Seattle. Still have the 2nd highest catch rate to the slot. Dodson's played some slot even when Samuel's been out there. Certainly have a low recommendation. Samuel is a full on Sunday morning. How that happens. You mentioned takedown. 89% run participation the last 2 weeks.
We're almost there.
Return as well. Hollywood Brown, we talked about him. With the return of Kyler Murray, this is something he should be targeted off, and he's got almost 30% target share.
And there we go.
This year.
Rosie, take it from here.
Quarterback last year.
Really all right
17 fantasy points per game. Dawkins, 6 most fantasy points per game. Just wide receiver.
Ferguson's the interesting one to me. He's had 15 and 22 fantasy points in the last 2 games. Dak missed him as well a couple of times. Seems like they have a really good how it would happen with the Dallas offense seems to be sitting Lamb or Jake Ferguson. The other guys, Gallup and Brooks, and Tony Pollard to an extent. They just seem to go, it's working.
Kind of crazy. The Dallas offense right now. Let's move over and see starting what they've got. two. Count them two. Count them with 2 fingers. How many touchdowns the Ravens have allowed to those wide receivers? 2 touchdowns in the past 7 games. In fact, over that stretch since week 4, Oklahoma has the second fewest fantasy points to opposing wide receivers, and only 2 wide receivers gone for more than 63 yards against Baltimore. You feel good about the fact that he does get a big target share because Watson's playing and not PJ Walker, but still hard for me to get Amari Cooper inside my top 25 and a wide receiver 29. Lower expectations for Amari Cooper on Sunday.
Yep, second best defense against the pass. Baltimore, they're a little bit weaker against the runs, and I think that Cleveland will want to lean on that as much as possible. Even if they don't have the ton of success, really like any round in this matchup, so I'm not excited about Watson either. So yeah, I would be, if you can find anyone else to fill that role, I would do so.
And a theme of today's love-hate, Jay, has been a lot of Browns and Ravens, and we continue that with Zay Flowers, also on the hate list here. And for Zay Flowers, to me, though, Barry, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not just the matchup. There are serious questions about usage right now in this offense as well.
It's all so close to the line of scrimmage. Over the last 4 games, his average up to the target is 6.4 yards. 73% of his targets are under 10 air yards. So it's all this close to the line of scrimmage stuff. And so when you think about throws below 10 yards, these close throws, Browns allow the fewest yards per game. In fact, only 1 game this season has a wide receiver caught more than 5 passes against Cleveland. And we've talked about, we expect positive regression, but the fact is the Ravens have been running the ball so effectively. And you know Mark Andrews is going to get his. If I had to start a Ravens wide receiver, it's Zay Flowers. But I don't feel great about him in this matchup. He's outside my top 30 for the week.
Yeah, I think that outside of Andrews and Lamar, there's no one you want in this matchup. This Cleveland defense is still the best in the league. Now, Baltimore might take that mantle on Sunday, but until that point, Cleveland have the best passing defense in the league and the 3rd best rushing defense. This is still, and a lot of that's biased by Clayton Tune, to be fair, but still, this is an incredible
Still
defense.
counts.
Our final pass catcher on the hate list, Jacoby Myers on Sunday Night Football against the Jets. It's not just the Jets corner duo or trio, Jay, that they have to worry about here. His target share has gone down since Aiden O'Connell has taken over.
Yeah, it wasn't great the early Aiden O'Connell game against the Chargers as well. Devontae was the guy that he looked for, and against this elite Jets defense, and with Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed out there, I think that you want to look elsewhere than Jacoby Myers in your flex.
I love the stat. The Jets have yet to allow 45 or more receiving yards to multiple wide receivers in the same game. So if you're like, there's only one guy that's getting to 45 yards, you feel better about Devontae Adams, who's gotten a much bigger target share from Aiden O'Connell than you do about Jacoby Myers. I get it. He scored a touchdown last week, but that was like on a reverse run. It's hard to see Myers doing that again against the Jets. He's just wide receiver 37 for me this week.
We move over to the quarterbacks, headlined by Joe Burrow against the Texans this week. Joe Burrow comes in as QB2 for you, Barry, and simply, Joe Burrow is looking like the MVP candidate, finally, that we all expect to be year after year.
There's no question about it. So, since week 5, over the past 4 weeks, he's averaging 21.8 fantasy points per game. He's had at least 2 touchdown passes in every single game. And since week 5, Texans allow the 3rd most passing yards per game. I mean, we just saw Baker Mayfield have a huge game against them as well. So the Bengals were tied for the highest implied team total this week. Yeah. Burrow makes the love list, and you're like, great, Barry. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Yeah, we know everyone in the world is starting Joe Burrow. Here's why he makes the love list. He's my number 2 quarterback this week. I'm at QB2 this week. So, again, higher than...
That you showed up, because now that you're men alive, we thought you were just audible out of this interview.
Yeah, listen, I don't know how this all happened, but it's honestly just another day. My wife tells me all the time, I'm the sexiest man in the world. So I've been wondering what's been taking so long for this nomination to happen. It's been a whirlwind. It's been fun. It's a win for plus-size bearded men all over.
Yes, baby.
And we were surprised that you showed up, because now that you're one of the sexiest men alive, we thought you were just audible out of this introduction.
Listen, I don't know how this all happened, but it's honestly just another day. My wife tells me all the time, I'm the sexiest man in the world. So I've been wondering what's been taking so long for this nomination to happen.
My name's Rose. I can't see you, but what's your name, sir?
My name is Zach.
I like to see people face to face, but I could leave you a brochure. It's about the future. How do you view the future? My name's Rose.
Damn, sis, that belly sticks out about as far as them titties do.
Yeah, they do. No, stop.
Damn, sis, that belly sticks out about as far as them titties do.
Yeah, they do. No, stop.
Damn, sis, that belly sticks out about as far as them titties do.
Yeah, they do. No, stop.
Damn, sis, that belly sticks out about as far as them titties do.
Yeah, they do. No, stop.
Damn, sis.
It's a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard.
Man, tag somebody with the car motor, man.
You gotta be trolling, bro. Are you trolling?
Man, tag somebody with the car motor, man.
You know I'm sexy. Don't call just sexy bitches. Okay, get on my speed. They stare cause they know I'm the ICGIRL. You know I am that girl. Bitch, you
I made an app called Parallel Live that makes it look like you're live streaming with tens of thousands of people watching to see how people...
I don't know what's your vision of.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Yo, Jay. Got a lot of people. Yo, Jay.
No, I'm the ICG.
Another time she waits, I'll be halfway to my mommy phone. It just don't know.
No, I'm the ICG.
Another time she.
Dude, what are you doing? By the way, where's your uniform? Go get your...
Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead. I let all that get to my head. Bitch, I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
What? I remember when I first started on the fact that there's only one.
Stop this madness. You think you know me? On the stage, I see clearly. You sucking no dick, no hands with it. I just made the rolling plane like a landing strip. I'm 2020 president candidate. I done put 100 bands on Zimmerman shit. I been moving real gangster, so that's why she pick a grip. Shawty call me Crisco, cause I pop my shit. Got it out the mud. There's nothing you can tell me. Yeah, when I had
A good athletic player. Watch this. He won the pass. See, look. He's a heck of an athlete.
Look at this big time.
That is, I'm telling you, good athletic player. Watch this.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good.
Mia, if you were to be martyred for the faith, what way would you go out? Personally, if I'm dying for Christ, I don't care. Like, I'm going out. Okay, fair. Evan, if you could be martyred for the faith, what way would you go out?
Back in the biblical times, they would stone people. And I think telling that story in heaven would be cool because it's painful. I'm never for.
I don't know, man.
Amen. Amen! Olivia, if you could be martyred for the faith, what would it be? Definitely eaten by lions. No, because Amen. Annie, if you were martyred for Christ, what way would you go out? I honestly think I would want to be like in one of those like old Roman arenas, and then like a lion eat me. Oh, okay. Alex, if you could get martyred for Christ, what way would you go out?
I feel like getting thrown off like the highest building.
G5 dip in Louis Vuitton. Gotta love it, your boy so fly.
Just gonna drop this here. I'm trying to get this.
G5 dip in Louis Vuitton luggage.
The ideal number of men to have in your rotation. No such thing as ideal.
You know what happened to niggas that fuck with my friends? Know what I do to niggas? I fuck them.